We are gathered here today to talk about pivot cups, probably the smallest but most essential part of the roller skates that you didn't even know were there. If you have pulled out your old pair of roller skates, show you exactly what you need to check on your roller skate. You've got the boot, which is this upper. You've got the plate, which on this one is metal, but sometimes they're nylon. Then you've got wheels, which contain bearings so that they will spin. And you've got a toe stop. This toe stop is a bolt-on style. Okay. Now I want you to really carefully check that there are no holes in the upper, that the boot is comfortable to wear. That's easy enough to check. You know what a shoe feels like. If the laces need replacing or you need to put a new inner sole in, no big deal, right? That's pretty easy to replace. But what about the plate? How do you know if this is okay to use or not? Well, you're going to start by giving things a little wiggle. So this toe stop is nice and tight. It doesn't feel like it's crumbling away. It's not going to chip if I start pushing it, yeah, because you are going to use quite a lot of force and push this into the ground. This wheel, can you hear that rattle? So this one is very much too loose. They should be like this, no wiggle at all, but still have a little bit of rolling. Now the fact that this wheel, I don't know if you can hear that noise, okay, is not really rolling smoothly, that suggests to me that the bearing is not working properly. And so for this roller skate, I would definitely suggest that the bearings need to come out and we need to replace those so that it will roll properly. If you use bearings that are not rolling smoothly, is you will have not the best experience, and you might find roller skating is either really hard or that your bearings will just lock up and stop working and you'll fall over, which is definitely not enjoyable. So I would replace the bearings on these. The next thing I'm going to check in here is these cushions. Okay, so these black bits on this roller skate, they are black. On different skates, they're different colours. Sometimes you can get funky colours. They are sadly not universal. Not all cushions fit all skates. So if you're not sure, then contact us and we'll see if we can help you out and get something that will fit. Okay, so the cushions on here look to be okay, but to be certain, I would actually need to unscrew this whole bolt and take it apart and look and make sure there are no cracks. Right now, I'm just doing a visual check all the way around to make sure that I can't see any cracks in the cushion, because if there are, your weight is not going to be evenly distributed and that is going to make your roller skating much harder. So definitely give your cushions a check. The other way that I can check is by wiggling the wheels a little bit, because there should be not a lot of movement, a little bit, but not a lot, okay? And if you find that it's really leaning one way heavily, then they're probably also going to need replacing. So this part, one of these, this is a pivot cup, and the pivot cup sits at the back of the truck. Okay, so in here you might be able to see there's a little black lip and it's a bit of rubber. This one is quite soft, and there's also one at the front there. Okay, so on the truck we've got this thing here. This is a metal truck and it has two axles either side which hold the wheel on, and then it's got this pivot arm which goes into the plate, and it allows the truck, basically it's doing, can I do it? It's doing this. So this is allowing the wheels to tilt, and that will allow you to roll around and move. But often this very, very tiny part is one of the smallest parts on the roller skate and one of the most overlooked. This will deteriorate over time. So what will happen is every time you're skating, and especially if you put your foot down hard, the wheels are going to push the pivot arm up into the pivot cup and the hole, right? So especially if you're jumping, you're going to have bang, 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 bang. And over time, and again, it depends how you skate, where you skate, this is going to cause your little pivot cup, let me grab one of these. So this one is a rubber one, which will mean it's most similar to the Beach Bunny pivot cup, because that is also kind of rubbery, right? So you can see that they are different sizes, they are different colors. Right, look at this one, that plastic one. Let's put them this way. Okay, so these are I can't show you. There's no universal one, is what I'm saying. Like, we would need to see it in front of us in order to do that maintenance and support you if you didn't already know. And with a vintage skate, it's sometimes very difficult to see. But over time, the pivot arm, especially if it's metal, which most of them are, will actually hammer a hole in the end of this, and the whole pivot cup will like disintegrate. Now, you might think that's not that terrible. This metal arm will get shorter. That will mean the whole geometry of your truck is going to be, it will be at the wrong angle. That's going to cause wear on the cushions. It's going to pull on the kingpin. It is all bad news. Bad news. So when you notice or hear a grinding noise like metal on metal, hopefully you are going to be checking your skates quite regularly, but particularly if you have bought or are pulling out from storage an older pair of skates, like a vintage pair of skates, then I urge you to please take them apart and do all of your checks. Now, if you want a longer video and you want me to actually pull these apart for you, then just comment below, tell me that's what you need, and I will take these apart and I will video all the different bits and show you how we're going to actually take it apart and put them back together. But you absolutely, unfortunately, cannot buy a pivot cup without knowing the equivalent pivot cup, like what is already in. This week, we've had some that have come out of storage, and the person who was wearing them was basically crumbling bits of plastic, like hard pivot cup plastic. So theirs wasn't the rubber type, it was more like this. This is like a hard plastic one, okay? And there were bits of this like crumbling all over the studio, and that is not safe for anyone else who's skating, but it's also really unsafe for them, because at any given moment, it means that the weight that they're putting into their skate is going to instantly change as another bit of the pivot cup falls out. So they're going to be tipped. And when you are a newer roller skater or a less experienced roller skater, that's already unnerving enough without being thrown to the side, right? On one of the pairs of skates that I saw where this was an issue, since the beginning of January when we restarted classes, there have been a few where people have gone, I dug my skates out of storage, and are they safe to use? Sometimes the wheels are, you can see they're like cracked. Maybe they've been exposed to extremes of heat or cold. The urethane that is made of the wheels is like, it's going to become brittle and it will crack. The truck on one of the skates, one of the pairs of skates that I saw, all of the metal, like they had metal trucks, which is good. It had what appeared to be like almost like a white mold or something growing on it. It just looked like they needed a really good clean, like they'd been in storage for quite a long time, like maybe mildewy, I don't know. But they were definitely not safe, and I think that was the cause of the deterioration of the pivot cup. But worse than that is it will make the metal brittle, so the metal truck could snap. Like when the skater is then putting weight into it, if they lean too far one way, the axle will actually snap. I've seen it happen before where an axle has cracked, like the whole truck has cracked. If you are using not a brand new pair of roller skates, then please do these checks. Make sure that they are safe to use before you take them and start roller skating with them, because we were able to save the person who was doing their skating here. No problem. Here's a pair of hire skates. You get on and have a nice time with those. We'll sort yours out after the class and we'll take a look. And when I had a look at them, there's so much that needs replacing in these. I can do a full service on them, and then you're going to need to replace all the different parts, which by the time you've done that, you might as well buy a new pair of rookies. because that's going to be better value and they're a nicer skate than the ones that person had. So I said, I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but I can't recommend that you use these. I don't think that they're safe for you to use. So I don't want that for anybody else. And therefore, let's learn about our skates and let's make sure that the pivot cup is the right one for us. So just on this, most pivot cups are fairly affordable. Like, it's a very small part. Okay. Woo! Whoopsie. It's a very small part, but so this one is for a sunlight plate and it's rubber. This one is harder plastic, and the harder plastic ones do tend to last a little bit longer than the rubber ones. But there are some situations, like skate park, they do prefer to use a rubber pivot cup because there's just a little bit more shock absorption in that than compared to a plastic one. Maybe one or a couple of quid, right? They're quite cheap. This one though, this is a Delrin pivot cup. It's a different kind of plastic, very hard, very thin, very light, very strong. And this one is used in your higher end plates, like Pilot Falcon plate uses this kind of pivot cup. The Reactor series of plates made by Rydell uses this type of pivot cup, not the Arius plate. Just FYI, that is completely different. If you're going for a better quality plate, then the corresponding parts do cost a bit more. However, this one will easily last. It will outlast the others. So you're spending a bit more when it needs replacing, but it is obviously going to last for much longer as well. So it is about the quality of the parts that you get in. But as I say, not every pivot cup is going to fit every plate. So if you are not sure what you need, then please drop us a message and I will see if I can help you. But like I say, if you want to know a little bit more, if you want me to take that pair of skates apart or any other pair of skates for that matter, just drop me a comment below and I will do a skate maintenance type video, and so you can see actually what is going on, what you need to do and how to put it back together so that you know you are going to be safe on your skates.